Hi, and welcome to Mending Your Heart Weekly Call. I'm Christine Braun, and I own a coaching company that specializes on empowering women to create the extraordinary love life they desire, getting past fears, disappointment, rejection, and heartache. Currently, I do have a few spots available for one-on-one coaching, so get in touch with me if that is something you're considering to help you navigate through your current challenges in your love life. All of these weekly calls are recorded, and you will find them posted on my website, www.yourtruepower.net, and you'll find it under weekly calls. So let's get right into today's topic for our Mending Your Heart call. How much should I change for a man? A trap that I've fallen into before, and let me know if this sounds like you at all or if you've experienced something similar. A trap that I have fallen into before is I fell for the way a man treated me while we were dating rather than for who he truly was. Now, by that, I don't mean that he was an awful man by any stretch, but that I was so blinded, charmed, and distracted by how he made me feel while we were spending time together that I didn't question much deeper about who he is, what his values are, what he desires most in life, if our values match, things like that. So the trouble with that was that I got hooked. I got hooked on the feeling he gave me by being attentive, texting and talking with me till late at night, going for walks with me, enjoying picnics in the park, being truly present and focused on me, not even glancing at his phone while he was spending time with me. And while those are all wonderful qualities, here's the trouble. As our dating relationship progressed, I didn't want to lose that attention, so I was willing to give whatever it takes to keep it. Rather than paying attention to warning signs that our values and goals didn't truly match, I was eager to change anything I needed to change to become the woman that he desired so that I could continue receiving his affection. I don't think I'm alone in this. Has that ever happened to you? That you just fell for a guy early on, and once he began to show signs about what he maybe didn't quite like about you, or mention something he really likes in other women he dated, or what he admires about a particular woman, that you took the hint to heart and went about becoming whatever you thought he wanted. So here's the first big aha moment of this call. Write this down. Let this sentence be a really big warning sign to you. You ready? Okay. Are you thinking, how can I be or become the woman he wants? Rather than, is he the kind of man I desire, and do our values and visions for life and love match? If you catch yourself thinking, how can I be the woman he wants? Pay attention to that warning sign. Take the time to reassess your own values, what's most important to you, and if this relationship is violating any of them. As we will be discussing during this call, there are definitely times it is appropriate to change, but don't be too quick to jump in that direction. So hopefully you have a pen and paper because we are going to be doing some work. Let's start with writing down all the ways that you have changed for a guy in the past, or what you felt like you needed to change in order to keep his love, reignite his interest, keep the peace in the relationship, things like that. So the question to ask yourself right now is, what did I feel like I had to change about myself in a past relationship? What did I feel like I had to change about myself in a past relationship? Now, this might be easier if you write down the names of the past, like 3 to 5 men you were in a relationship with, or the top 3 relationships that truly impacted your life. Write down the name, think about your time together and what worked and what didn't. Did you at any point in time feel like you needed or wanted to change something about yourself? Did you ever feel not enough, or that you couldn't please him in a particular way, or that he really desired particular traits in a woman that you didn't have? Write all those down. The next step is to think about a future relationship. Ask yourself these questions. And by the way, you don't have to worry about catching all these questions or stop and starting this recording. You can actually go to my website, and I do have a tab that is posted just for this call, and you'll be able to find it on there. So just go to www.yourtruepower.net, and you will find it under resources and the date for this call. So the questions to ask yourself is, what am I worried to show or share or talk about with a future partner? Which traits am I cautious about sharing or hide altogether when I start dating someone new? What do I feel is unlovable about me? Is there anything about me that I'm afraid a man would dislike or reject, make fun of, see as a hassle to deal with? What are my undesirable traits? What am I insecure about? What have I gotten negative feedback on in the past from a man or friends or family? Am I lacking any particular trait or skill that I believe every typical man wants? And a last question, in case you get stuck and can't think of anything, start your sentence with, I'm afraid I won't be loved or accepted because, and then fill in whatever comes to mind. All right, well done. So you should have a really comprehensive list of your insecurities. Let me share some of mine, as well as the top insecurities my coaching clients have shared with me, or ways that they have changed for men in their past. I feel like I'm too emotional. I'm afraid that no man wants to deal with a crazy emotional storm. Men in my past have told me that they can't or don't want to handle my ups and downs or frequent mood changes. I feel like I have to keep the wide array of my emotions under wraps. A man only wants to see my happy side, the flirty, successful, fun, loving side. I'm afraid I need to be more outgoing, more social, do more things with friends. A guy doesn't like a woman who is too shy or introverted or quiet. Now remember, this is a list of insecurities, not a list of what men actually are looking for. Every man is different. We will talk more about this a bit later in the call. Okay, on with our list. These are just examples of insecurities. I feel like I need to keep my spirituality or belief in law of attraction or any kind of woo-woo stuff under wraps. I feel like I can only share parts of who I am with this man because he's not interested in the other ones. He is all about the glitz and glamour, money and superficiality, but I'm more down to earth and like simple things and truly seeking presence in ordinary things and moments. How far should I go into his realm? Should I change the way I dress, do my makeup, accessories, carry the way I carry, what I carry or the things that I buy? Am I adventurous enough in bed to keep a man's interest? A lot of my coaching clients worry about that. So am I adventurous enough in bed to keep a man's interest? Am I secure enough in my values, comfortable and confident with who I am? Men don't like insecure women. Do I need to be more independent, do more things on my own because he wants his space? Where do I draw the line? Hardly ever sharing a meal together, not knowing where he's going or how long he'll be gone, hardly ever going to bed at the same time or waking up together. I feel like I need to be more successful and accomplished in my life. I feel like I have to be okay with needing less communication, texting only a couple of times and not talking or FaceTiming every night. This was actually my experience while I was in a long distance relationship, and I felt like I had to be stronger, more independent, not need him so much. when really those were big signs of him pulling away. I feel like I have to be super understanding, easygoing, not need to know all the details about what he's up to. He doesn't like me hanging out with male friends. I have to make more money. His two ex-wives were successful businesswomen. I can settle for letting him call the shots and always letting him decide when we meet and where we meet and how often we meet. Every man loves a woman who can cook. So that is kind of a list of examples for insecurities that might come up. I'm sure there's more, and if you want to share some of yours or what you've heard other women talk about, please share it on my Facebook site. It would be so great to get your insights and your ideas. Okay, let's move on to the next step. I remember when I made my list of my own insecurities and negative traits, I became quite discouraged and definitely felt my energy dipping down. So let's take a few moments and come back into the light. Let's write down all of our positive traits, things we like about ourselves, characteristics we have received praise for, what family members and friends tell us they like about us. So write down what is lovable about you. What are all your greatest, strongest, most powerful, most wonderful traits? Who are you in your heart? What do others adore and value about you? And once again, all these questions are posted on my website, so you'll find them there. So here's my list, or here are just some examples. I have a really good heart. I really put the effort into making a relationship work, being present, and paying attention to my partner and his needs. I am kind, understanding, non-judgmental. I see the best in everyone. I see who they truly are at their core, beyond fear and hurt. I love the simple things in life, sunshine, outdoors, nature. I find beauty in the ordinary. I open my heart and truly connect with my partner on a deep level. I love very deeply, making my partner a very important part of my life. I'm strong when I have to be, but can easily change back into my feminine energy and allow my partner to be masculine. I'm responsible. I have a great handle on my life. I take responsibility for my own happiness. I know how to express the array of my emotions in a positive and beneficial way. I'm always willing and open to talk about and work on anything. I'm deeply introspective, mindful, and interesting in my own way. I love deep, meaningful conversations. Physical touch is one of my love languages. I love being close to my partner. I truly enjoy caring for and thinking of my partner. All right, have you finished your list? Great. Now compare the two lists, your undesirable and desirable traits. Are you feeling a bit better about your flaws after reading through all your kick-ass traits? Do your wonderful traits outweigh your insecurities? So let's go through each one of your insecurities and ask yourself, is this something that truly no man on earth could love me for or despite of? So is this something, so each trait you're reading through, is this trait something that truly no man on this earth could love me for or despite of? Could I love a man who has this flaw? Has anyone ever loved me despite this insecurity? Bear in mind, it doesn't matter whether you liked this guy back or not. The point here is whether anyone ever has chosen to look past this insecurity and still loved you, adored you, and showed you affection. Think of some of the traits that you loved despite of in past relationships. Isn't that the type of relationship that you truly want? a relationship where you can be completely open and honest and be exactly who you are and be loved for it, adored for it? Trust me when I say the relationship, the deep connection that you seek has room for flaws. Embrace your uniqueness and allow yourself to be loved no matter what. Gift your partner the opportunity to accept you for who you are at the deepest level. And there is room for growth, for progress, for cultivating new traits and enhancing the best parts about who you are. Now, that may sound a bit contradictory. First, we say embrace your flaws, love yourself for who you are, and then we say you can change and be anything you desire. Both are true and actually very much go hand in hand. When you decide to change from a place of curiosity and interest rather than from a place of fear or disgust at yourself and needing to be different, the world opens up to you. You want both. You want your partner to be in love with who you are at your core, but you also want to progress in your life, learn new things, explore new things, enhance character traits, making the most of life, of love, and of this moment. Haven't you ever been in love with a man who was a really good guy, but nothing ever changed? He had no aspirations for anything? How did that feel? We want change, the kind of change that enhances who we are. So now, go back over your list of insecurities, and with each one, ask yourself this: is this something that I truly want to change about myself? Why? How would it benefit me if I changed this about myself? How could I go about changing this? Here's a more comprehensive collection of questions you can ask yourself when contemplating changing something about yourself. Once again, these questions are posted on my website, so don't worry about keeping up with it. So this is the questions that you can ask yourself when contemplating changing something about yourself for a relationship for a man. Is this change in resonance with the core of who I am? Is this change in alignment with my values, what I truly desire in life, and with the extraordinary relationship I want to create and foster? Is this change something I truly want long term, or is it to escape potential pain, like rejection, or to gain temporary pleasure, like love or acceptance? Will this change benefit me in the long run? How? Will it have a positive or a negative impact on my family, friends, or other parts of my life? Would I consider this change if this man wasn't in the picture? Are there any potential drawbacks to making this change? Will it be difficult for me to uphold this change in the long run? Will it cost me a lot of energy? Is it worth it? Do I happily want to do this? So have this list handy, especially in the beginning of a new relationship, and be really honest with yourself. Don't just turn a blind eye to red flags because the connection feels so good in the moment. Think about the long run. Think about the relationship you truly desire. Don't abandon your values. So let's go back to our original topic and the core question of this call: how much should I change for a man? Hopefully by now the answer is pretty clear. It really depends on you and which changes will uphold your values. There are positive ways to change for a man and negative ways, and truthfully, you're not really changing for him at all. You're really changing for yourself. What it comes down to is deeply knowing yourself and what is most important to you. What are your values? What do you truly want in a man and in a relationship? What are your top 3 values you must absolutely uphold, otherwise you compromise your happiness and fulfillment? And then own who you are. Don't abandon your values and what's most important to you for affection or attention. We are so afraid of being rejected that we will do anything to try to keep his love. But ask yourself, is it really worth it? Humans always and naturally take actions to go towards pleasure and away from pain. So after this powerful session we just went through, do you feel that you're enough, that you're desirable, worthy, confident about who you are and what you have to bring to a relationship? Remember, whatever you're insecure or fearful about will be mirrored and enhanced in a relationship unless you work through it and neutralize it. Go through the session as many times as you need. Look over and work with your lists. Post any questions you have to our Facebook page or private message me. And if you feel like you would like more individualized attention, that it's time to work through the stuff with a mentor who can make you aware of your patterns and blind spots, or you need help figuring out what your values actually are or how to change a particular trait, please message me that you're interested in a private coaching session. I truly believe that every woman deserves to have the extraordinary love life she desires, and I want to help you get there. Thank you so much for listening today, and I will talk to you next week on Thursday on your Mending Your Heart call. And that was my kitty cat saying, all right, it's time to go. Have a great one. I'll talk to you next week. Bye.